Hey, today we are learning about triangle and trigonometry and how we would use it in our day-to-day lives. Like we use it just in typical ways. We don't even have to try that hard, such as, okay, for example, let's say we have a boy named Billy, okay? And Billy wants to hide his candy from his brother, and he has to hide it all the way up on top of the refrigerator. Now, when you do this, you're thinking of a lot of things, but you do it unconsciously. You don't know you're doing it. Such as Billy was standing 6 meters away from the refrigerator. You see? Now, how does that play a role, right? Have you ever heard the term SOHCAHTOA? Yep, SOHCAHTOA. Well, let's just put it this way. So is what we're using. Opposite over hypotenuse. Okay? And in this, you need to know the angle and the opposite. And you're going to have to know another side or angle to solve. But here's another thing Billy knows. Is that the refrigerator is at a 90 degrees because, it's a quad. It has 360 degrees. All sides are 90 degrees. So it is standing at 90 degrees. So now since we have these two information, to work from, 6 meters away, 90 degrees. He also could see. You see, so now he's looking at it and he goes, you know what? That refrigerator looks pretty close to 15 meters away. So as you see, you have your 90 degrees, you have your 6 meters, and you have your 15. Okay? Now, now we ask ourselves, how high is the refrigerator? Well, what formula will work, right? What formula will work? It is basic, and you can switch it around, okay? You can use it in different ways, for different angles and sides, and it's very easy. In this case, we are going to use sine A over A. Sine A is the angle, as you can see. Sine A is the angle, and then A is the side. Sine C is the angle, and C is the side. The sides always go on the bottom, and the angles always go at the top. Keep that in mind. Well, now let's place the values, right? When we place the values, it's going to look like this. We're going to have A still as sine A because that is the angle we are solving for. But we do know the side to A, and that's 6. Now, to see, we know the angle is 90 degrees, and we know the side of that angle is 15, right? So next thing you want to do is cross multiplication. Okay, now when we do cross multiplication, what's gonna happen is you just multiply them across. So as you can see on this side right here, you have 15 sine A, right? And then you have on this side 6 sine 90. All you did really was move this 6 over here to this sine 90, and you move this 15 to this sine A. You see why it's set up like that now? Now when you divide out the 15, because we're solving for sine A, you're going to move the 15 to the other side, right? Now you divide that, and it should equal 0.4. Now keep this in mind, it cannot be 1.4, it cannot be 1.1, it cannot be 1.2 the millionth of 9, because it has to be either 1 and under you understand it cannot be over 1. So we have 0.4. The next step to take is to use something called the inverse. Yes, the inverse. Now the inverse is just how you find the angle. What's the inverse? You see? Now, as you can see, when you type in to your scientific calculators, you see, you will get a total of 23.57. Okay. Now, we round it. What does that round to? 24. So now you know that angle A is estimately close to 24 degrees. What can that possibly mean? That we know the angle is 24 degrees and we know that the other angle is 90 degrees. How many angles does a triangle have? Exactly. 3. Get it right. So, since we have, a triangle that's 180 degrees and we have 2 angles, how do you get the third one? You just subtract the degrees that we already have. So, we have 180 minus 24 minus 90 equals 66. So 66 is our sine B. It's our angle B. Okay? So now, we're going to use the same formula, guys. But like I said, you can alter it and change it. So now using the same method, but changing the variables. Instead of us running, we're jumping. Now you get it. Instead of us jumping, we're sliding. We're just changing the variables. Okay? So now, let's place the numbers in these variables. So, as you can see, we have right here sine 24 over 6, and that is equal to sine 66 over B, side B. That's unknown. But we know that the angle is 66. We know that the angle is 24, and we know the side is 6. What step is next? I'll give you a little tip, Yes, I'll start with M and C and U and R, and yes, you got it. Yes, cross multiplication. That was it. So, after cross multiplying, it should look like this. You should have B sine 24. You should also have 6 sine 66. Now divide. Can you guess how to divide this? It's very easy. What are we solving for? Are we solving for 6 sine 66? No. Are we trying to solve for sine 24? No. What are we solving for? Yes, B. So we're going to divide out the sine 24. Right? So this is how it should look. Since we are solving for B, we will divide. So it looks like B is alone. So now we have 6 sine 66 is divided by sine 24. If you notice, it pretty much says 6. And the angle of 66 is divided by the angle of 24. Hallelujah. I can't say that word ever in my life. So, after you divide that on your, say it, Da-da, da-da. Scientific calculators. Da-da. Okay, so it will equal 13.47. Now you round it, right? And now it equals 13 meters. You see now? So, Billy must get his candy 13 meters high from his brother, so he can love it, destroy it later, and then cry until next Halloween so he can get more. And that is how people tend to use math in their day-to-day lives, such as if you're looking at the stratosphere. How high is the stratosphere? I wonder, you know, you want to ask yourself, I wonder how long it would take me to go around Times Square, because Times Square is a triangle. Well, you know, two triangles, but square, of course, but two triangles. So I wonder how long it would take to go around, or go halfway around and through the middle, you know. And if you want to go all the way around, you would multiply the answer by 2, and if you just want to go halfway, then you would just, of course, do so. Gatoa. And mainly, you know, you do sine. But if you have to, there's times when you can know 2 angles and 1 side. What we use is something called cosine. And that is another lesson. I was just doing sine today. You know, because we were trying to figure out Billy's candy situation. And thanks to you, we were able to do that. Thank you so much. Signing out.